Hey, let's get hired. My name's George Chiverton. Welcome to the Chiverton is Wrestling podcast. I don't know how I came up with the name. I am a genius. We're going to be reviewing the most recent edition of WWE NXT, which, because no one's going to watch this, was on the 6th of November. So yeah, if you're interested, if you've just watched that episode for some reason, it's a good episode. You can agree or disagree with me and then dislike this video and subscribe just so you can unsubscribe again. It will be great. So first match, Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's Road to Redemption, going to Adrian Neville at the top, has to go through Tyler Breeze in what would seem like the last match of this. Now, the reason I specify that is that if this is the match which gives him the shot at the title, why not make this the match that gives him the number one contendership? Have Regal come out, be a general manager, because he hasn't been yet, really. Say, this is the match. Tyler, you were the number one contender, but now Sammy's proven himself. You have to fight. More on the line. Makes more of a spectacle of the match. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Because it's just, I don't know, felt like a bit of a waste, and I want Regal's character as the GM to get a bit of a backbone. So yeah, Sami Zayn coming down, obviously hugely popular. Same Breeze is a heel that everyone likes, but they play along with Breeze because they want him to be the heel because they respect the fact that it will make a better match if he can play the character he's meant to be playing. That's something cool about Full Sail. They get it with the wrestlers. It's like they're educated fans in the right way. They're not just there to be like, oh, Cena does X, Y, and Z, which proves that, like, that's not hard. Anyone can do that. You're not special, are you? Love me, father. Just gonna have an existential crisis. Yeah, I think that's a good way to start a series of podcasts. You start with the existential crisis, and then every week it's my road to redemption, which will somehow end with me pinning Adrian Neville. I'm not sure. God. Right. Anyway, start the match. They do this whole pinning thing where Breeze keeps rolling up into pins, and every time Sami Zayn would kick out pretty much straight away, and then they get to their feet, and he'd be like, I was that close. Breeze would be like, I'm that close to pinning you, that close. And then eventually he does it again, and Sami Zayn just goes, like your dick. And it's like, yes, that's what I want. That's everything. I think like Sami Zayn being under a mask for so many years, he kind of learned how to do physical comedy because he couldn't. He didn't talk. He was like, ever. That was That wasn't quite Anyway, and he'd have to do a lot of physical stuff to get people to laugh. But now he's got the mask off. He's obviously got all that humour as well as his own general sense of humour, which is obviously great. And it just builds so much into his match that every stage of it is entertaining in a way where otherwise it would kind of be, okay, they're doing slow stuff, so when they get to the big stuff it means more. But him, it's like, we'll do the small stuff because in the small stuff I can do a little bit of comedy, I can do a little bit of this and that, we can build a little bit of a storyline in, and that's why he's the best. It's subtle, it's small, but it makes everything so much better. It's the difference between WWE bred superstars, which we're seeing, and these people who have done it for years and years. It's huge. Well, it's not. It's tiny, but the difference it makes, it's huge. But yeah, they do some. Sammy did an arm drag, always worth mentioning because they are mwah. Then Breeze kind of took control for a bit. He did this spot where he got Sammy in a bulldog and jumped through the turnbuckle a la Miz and slammed his head into the second turnbuckle, which was top. Then I thought Byron Saxton was excellent as the heel commentator on this because what he does really well is he's heelish enough for him to sound farcical a lot of the time. So when he's saying, "Oh, he's rubbish," it's obviously, that's Byron being a bad guy. But when it comes to like stuff like actually setting up barriers for the face to overcome, he makes very logical points. I.e., he said, yes, it doesn't matter if Sammy wins this though. He can't win the big one. You know, I don't know. That's kind of the tagline at the moment, but it's like it's good that he's putting that across because it keeps the doubt there and it means if and when Sammy does win the title, it will be a much bigger deal. It's little things like that. It just makes things better, and it's good. That's a lot of NXT at the moment. They just do the little things right. They do the simple things right, and they do the core wrestling. You have to fulfill these criteria, then you build it, which is something which has been lost on Raw. You know, faces are faces, heels are heels. Get them over, and it's not happening. But NXT it is. That's why it's the best thing WWE are doing. Anyway, so yeah, Sammy hits a full shot DDT, tries to launch in the Kojima clutch, doesn't work. Bree slips out the back, hits him with a supermodel kick, just obliterates his chin. Close 2 count, that was great. And then the finish came when Sammy kind of gets up and Breeze looks like he's sitting up to do the beauty shot, and Zayn kind of looks like he's falling back into the corner. But when Breeze rushes in, he catches him, exploded suplex. Breeze like crumples like a can with a large rock on it with the fire, and he died. And then just to make sure he died, Sammy kicked his head off with a Helluva kick, and that was that. Great match, just a great match. So many counters, so many reversals. You will never see the same match twice in NXT. I mean, you'll see rematches and you'll see similar bits, but every match has innovation built into it. It's everyone has their moves, their signatures, but no one. It's never just about getting to the signatures. It's not like, okay, you're on the floor, signature time. It's reverse, reverse, reverse. Always hit signature this way, and I love NXT. It's great. The style's fantastic. It's got a lovely blend between WWE and kind of the independent, faster, you know. Not that isn't fun. It has its times. Adrian Neville said, yeah, he's the #1 contender now. And then it's like, okay, good. Dash Wilder makes his debut, ladies and gentlemen. What a guy. He's facing he jobs to Tyson Kidd basically, and ironically he reminded me a lot of Davey Hart Smith, and so he just looked a lot like him. He did a scoop power slam a la Davey Hart Smith, and ironically lost to Tyson. Bit of a pointless match. I think there's so many storylines in NXT, and they're really building towards the next special called Revolution or something. And when something without a storyline, which is just kind of there, it's kind of filler. The idea is to rebuild Tyson, but beating a jobber just doesn't help Tyson at this point. Tyson's problem is not with beating jobbers. Everyone gets he's good. He's just not top. He's just not top of the card, which I think has been well established now. And if they want to change that, he's got to be a top of the card guy. Maybe have him against Breeze, or you don't really want him against Neville again. Yeah, it's gonna have to be Breeze. Just have him in that, or do something like get someone in, like, I don't know, Dash. Why not Dash Wilder? Have Baron Corbin just crush him, absolutely crush him or something, and then use him that way, and then have him come back stronger. I don't know. You have ideas about these things. Sorry for my flammable. Oi! I'm trying to do a podcast! God damn it, Ollie. Well, poor Ollie. I just said God damn it, Ollie. Sorry, Ollie. Anyway, yeah. It was a decent match. It was okay. It was a bit where Tyson Kidd, Dash Wilder was laying under the bottom turnbuckle, and he slingshot him, and he just went, and it was brutal. But yeah, whatever. Marcus Louis backstage being Kane, that was fun. Then Renee Young was interviewing Sami Zayn, and he's like, I'm ready for my shot at Neville, I want it next week. Renee Young then says, "Alright, I'll go and get it sorted with Regal." Are you kidding me? You fucking kidding me? You fucking kidding me right now? You gonna go make a match with Regal when you're the ring announcer? You gonna do that? You gonna go do that? That's not funny. I'm sorry. That's horrendous. Uh, Terrible. Right, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. I'm really embarrassed that just happened. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Bayley. Charlotte is the best women's wrestler WWE has. She is outstanding. She's a true champion. She comes down to the ring looking just boss, and in this match she just destroyed. She destroyed everything. Really great booking on the match. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks is in control of these two. Don't like Becky Lynch. She's too goofy for a kind of hardcore rock character. She's trying to be Lita with a personality like Emma. It just doesn't trade off well. And what was I? Sorry. Yeah. So Bayley is essentially kind of under Charlotte's tutelage during this match, and Charlotte comes in, wreck shop, kind of lets Bayley in, while at the same time Charlotte isn't being allowed to get to Sasha Banks, who, as the number one contender, she's raring to go there. Banks exploits this by kind of tagging in Lynch as soon as Charlotte gets in, and it kind of becomes cat and mouse, cat and mouse. And at the end of the match, it's a really great match. Charlotte basically dominates the whole thing. At the end of the match, some shenanigans happened, but it was really well timed. It looked very good for the amount that they had to achieve with that. They pulled it off really well. With the conclusion of it being Becky Lynch on the outside, holding on to Charlotte, who was trying to tag in to Bayley, and Banks clotheslines her and slams her onto the apron, which leaves Bayley to try and roll up Banks, but Banks rolls through, getting the pin. So the heels get the kind of unexpected victory, cowardly, but they outsmarted the faces. Charlotte looks amazing, and Bayley, to be fair, she had enough that she doesn't come off looking weak. It was a really good match. You won't see better Divas action anywhere this year, probably. I think they do the singles matches really well, but you won't see a better tag match for sure. It was great, and because I think this was the first one they've had at Full Sail, definitely. It was refreshing. I haven't seen one of those in NXT for ages. I thought it was great. Back to William Regal's office. No, I'm not going to do it again. Renee comes in and says, "Adrian never wants a match, do it." And he's like, "I don't care what the talent wants, but I'm going to do it." Yes, Daniel? Hi, I'm trying to record a podcast.
Are you recording right now?
I am recording right now.
Any words you'd like me to say?
Sing your favourite wrestling theme tune.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. That's what you're getting at.
Yep, thanks.
Good.
Bye, Daniel. Well,
Leave that in?
I'll edit. I'm too lazy to edit it out. So, yeah, go now. Right, that's a weekly feature now. God damn it. Sorry about that. So yeah, William Regal's in his office. Renee comes in. She's like, Sammy wants this match. He's like, I don't care what the talent wants, but he can have it. Great. So, anyway, we're at main event time. Now, obviously, we've had a... Sorry, what's my head doing? We've had a big show up to now, so how do you main event this with, the first match? We've got the main, all the stuff with women. The Ascension come out leading up to the big spot for the night, which is Hideo Itami introducing his new tag team partner to face the Ascension, and lo and behold, Finn Balor comes up. Everyone's like, and then it turns out it's Prince Devitt. Ah! He looked fucking ripped. His body fat percentage is about 0.1, and they went in and they just, it was good. They battered them into the corners. Then they ran across and did hesitation dropkick. Although they weren't great hesitation dropkicks, they kind of hesitation dropkick you meant to jump and then kind of hold your legs until the last minute and then you go. But you can't go full obviously because you kill them. But you can kind of half go. You can kind of just extend a bit, and they didn't really extend. They just kind of crunched, and I don't know, not a big fan. And they did it again. They went back again, and then Connor rolled out to the outside, where Finn Balor just jumped through the ropes, just double foot stomps into hell, and then gets into the ring. Can't do it. Sorry, I've had a drink. Ducks a clothesline from Victor before doing a Pele kick, which we kind of did backflips, pretty awesome. And then Banzai knee from Hideo, smashes him. And then to close it, Connor kind of crawls into the ring, and Hideo's like, come on, I can take you. And in this time, Finn, as I'm going to call him Finn, because I've got to get used to it, climbs to the top rope, jumps, double foot stomp on Victor, who started to get up, and just, oh, it was one of those times where you're just like, oh, yes! It was bloody great. So yeah, top introduction, and I think their next show that's coming up, that's going to be the best show of this year. I think WrestleMania was outstanding this year, but I'm really, I think this could be excellent, and I'm really excited for it. I think there's a couple of spaces where they need to fill out the card. I'm hoping that we're going to see Corey Graves at some point. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. I'm hoping this wasn't too terrible. I'm sorry for the couple of, yeah, all that, but I'm new to this. I'm hopefully going to get better. I'll hopefully get a system, like a lock. That's not a funny joke if you don't know I don't have a lock. There's a lock on the door. And there's a man, Randy Savage right there. But yeah, so thank you very much if you've managed to stay out this long. I doubt anyone has, but yeah, see you when our next one do of what?